I like Kubrat Pulev as a fighter. The only problem is, he's a very good heavyweight, and he's in the mix with a lot of other good heavyweights. For example, he's ranked in the top 3 by the WBC. He's ranked in the, what is it? Let me check. By the WBO, he's ranked number 6. By the IBF, he's ranked number 2. Actually, number 1. He's technically going to be, or supposed to be, the next IBF mandatory, but yet he's fighting Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is 2-6 in his last 8 fights, and then it doesn't help that he fought Samuel Peter in his last fight. Now, me watching as much boxing as I watch, international and domestic, I know that at this level, Kubrat Pulev should not be fighting Samuel Peter and then Kevin Johnson. Yes, Samuel Peter, the who next? That guy, and he was so fat and out of shape, and he retired after that. And now he's fighting Kevin Johnson, who just 2 fights ago lost to Anthony Joshua, and remember, lost to Tyson Fury, and I guess Vitaly Klitschko all those years back. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, I really don't know what Kubrat Pulev is, doing. Now, I can understand that he's fighting in Bulgaria. I can understand that. From my understanding, this is only his 2nd time fighting there. And what I've learned about those German, like those German, Russian, and in this case, Bulgarian events, is they're more white-collar affairs. So these are people who are going for the spectacle of things, and pretty much, I guess it's safe to say that they're casuals. But, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. And it's looking like Kubrat Pulev is trying to maneuver himself into a mandatory situation, maybe before Luis Ortiz, but against who? Now, the WBO champion is Joseph Parker, who's going to be taking on Huey Fury in April. And if I'm correct, the next mandatory after that was supposed to be David Haye. So now that's pretty much up in the air. But it's looking like it may be Gerald Big Baby Miller, or they may order him to fight somebody. When it comes to the IBF, Kubrat Pulev is the next guy in line. When it comes to the WBA, it's supposed to be Luis Ortiz, then the winner of Shannon Briggs versus Fred Zuquindo. So you don't know where Kubrat Pulev fits into the WBA, mix, because he's now fighting for the WBA Intercontinental title, which I thought was the title that Luis Ortiz won from fighting Malik Scott. This is all confusing, man. And then, with the WBC, you have Bermane Stiverne, who's going to be fighting Deontay Wilder. Then you have number 2, who's Luis Ortiz, and number 3, Kubrat Pulev. So it's like, really to understand, it's hard to understand, like, what path is Pulev going to take? And at this point in time, why is he fighting Samuel Peter and Kevin Johnson in back-to-back fights? But, whatever the case may be, it is what it is. I'm going to be covering the fight because I am a Kubrat Pulev fan, believe it or not. The fight's going to be taking place on April the 28th. I don't know what network. Of course, I'm going to have to go through hell to be able to get the network because, to be able to watch the fight, being in the States and all. But it is what it is, And remember, he also did have that controversial win over Derek Chisora. And Derek Chisora also lost to beat Kevin Johnson. So like I said, it's just weird that Kevin Johnson is, 2-6 in his last 8 fights. And then the last guy he fought had a record of 11-32. And it's just, but it is what it is. I really wish I could understand, the thought process behind this fight. But it's just like, okay, well, he's fighting in Bulgaria. And also, whether you like it or not, Kubrat Pulev, whether you know it or not, is a very marketable and big name over there in Germany and over there, of course, in Bulgaria where he's from. So, it is what it is. So I look at it like, his promotional group, Silent Promotions. They also have George Groves. They have Mikhail Kessler. They have Arthur Abraham, and they have a nice stable of fighters, and they're also very known to working with Matchroom. So I'm looking at it like they're just buying their time, keeping some money in Kubrat Pulev's pocket, and just maneuvering him, to a title shot. But it's like the way things are looking, it's like you're not going to be able to get through Luis Ortiz as far as getting a title shot before him, or you're going to have to fight him to get a title shot. The way things are looking like they're going to be set up. But anyway, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. So, of course, I'm going to be covering Kubrat Pulev versus Kevin Johnson. And, yes, I covered Pulev versus Peter. And it's just like, really? You know, it's just simply a showcase fight. That's all it is. Please subscribe. I'll links to my social media right down below in the description box if you want to see the full press release from Silent Promotions on the event. And of course, more information will follow as far as tickets and, you know, network and things like that. Please visit FightView360.com. It's the link right down in the description box. This is T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live.